Okay, now it's working. What's up, guys? My name is Deryck. Uh, Welcome to the stream. And yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me on the chat. Send me a message. I'm looking at the messages right now. If you guys want to say hello, what's up, Leandro? Let's go. Hi, hello. How are you guys doing? So, for those who follow me on my Instagram, I started SketchClub, and I talk a little bit about uh, how this is going to work. It's a fixated posted on my Instagram, so if you want to check that out, but I'm going to briefly explain here how it will work. So we have a SketchClub, and we're going to do sketches that are good for sketchbooks, bad for portfolios. Okay, so we're going to try to do something with no constraints, something that is very relaxed and free, and just have fun sculpting or drawing if you want. It will be very open for the medium that you would like to produce your art, either sculpting or drawing. And so every week I will give a theme, and we're going to develop together based on this theme. Everyone can do on their own style, like the way they want to do the theme. So this week theme will be Oni. I have, I hope you guys can see it. There is a brief description here somewhere, like right under my camera. Let me know if you guys can see this description there. And yeah, so this is going to be the theme for this week, Oni, which is kind of like a demon or a orc, ogre, something like that. So there's a lot of possibilities on that to do stuff and have fun and create something different and explore and try out stuff. So I invite you guys to do it together with me and do your own version of the Oni, and have fun, do some sketch, be free about it. Don't worry too much about any technical aspects of the sculpt. Just try to be loose with that. If you don't know exactly what to do or how, like where to start it, well, I am on the same boat as you because I also don't know exactly where to go, where to start it. So you guys are going to follow this live here with me, or maybe later if you watch this video later. Yeah, I'm gonna start something now, and hopefully you guys will be able to do it as well. Okay, if you guys have questions regarding the process or anything, if you guys just want to chat, be my guest. I will be keeping my eyes open for the chat. What's up, Bento? What's up, Frosty? Let's go. So yeah, as I said, I have a brief description of what this character is supposed to be. If you look for like for Oni on Google or Pinterest or whatever is your favorite image searcher, you're gonna come across a bunch of like crazy monsters and all, like there's a bunch of material to check out and get inspired. There's a bunch of masks, which is super cool to look at. Uh, yeah, there's really a bunch of stuff for us to dive in and you know to try to build something using that. So let's go. First, let me remove these images from here. All right. So here I have just like a sphere. That's usually how I start my sketch for people that are familiar with my work or people that watch my lives before here on ZBrush Live. Um, this is not exactly like workflow that I use for work, and there is a reason for that. The first reason is that I want to like get away a little bit from the work stuff and just have fun and trying to be a little bit more loose with the process. Uh, so yeah, you guys will be able, if you never see that, you guys will be able to see it in real time. And while I try to figure out what I'm going to do, uh, I decided on the theme today. That's when I published the theme on my Instagram. So you guys are knowing pretty much like as close as I got to know the team, and we can build something. All right. Uh, Arlene, what's your opinion on photo bashing for idea searching? Uh, well, if it is something that you want to do, I don't see no reason why. Like we are basically doing this like on our minds when we are seeing stuff, right? So when we are seeing like we have a collection of a bunch of stuff that we saw uh, like through the course of our lives, and we have a bunch of those images and ideas, and we just kind of put that together in our heads, and then we put it out as a drawing, as a sculpt, or whatever. Uh, if you want to, you know, try stuff like that, I see no reason why not to do it. I try not to do it a bunch of that. My approach when I'm doing those sketches is a bit more loose, and let me just turn off the floor here. Okay, it's a bit more loose. So if we like, for example, I did check some images of Oni online, right? So I saw a bunch of images. Uh, when I thought about this theme because I saw like a kids book on a library, and there is like those books telling stories of like a bunch of different stuff, and I saw that theme there, and I was like, oh, that would be a nice theme to to do a scat of. And like my recollection of Onis are there's a bunch of stuff like fragments on my head. I remember, so for some reason, I remember of those two guys in Dragon Ball. The guys there are like they are kind of like brothers. Like one is blue, another is red, and they use like a T-shirt that says hell or something like that. And they are not the most like terrifying creatures on that place, but that's like, for example, a recollection that I have of the character. So okay. All right, so let's start putting something here. So first of all, I'm just trying to get kind of the gesturing of the character that I want to build, right? So if this is like a humanoid, I'm just going to build like a simple, uh, like a simple shape, right? For what would be like a body for the character. And again, I'm not worried about the like making it right, making it like, oh, this has to be uh, accurate, like in terms of anatomy or anything like that. I will worry about that later, but right now, like the first step is just to get like a glimpse of what this will be. And you can use a base mesh or whatever you want to do these spheres. I just find that this thing makes it feels a little bit like loose, and again, not very worried about this looking like a Oni at this moment. I kind of try to picture in my head what I'm going for, and then I just start pushing it. So right now I'm thinking like, okay, I have like a base structure here of this guy, right? Which is like whatever, right? And that's for me like the most fun part of the process is just like discovering like the attitude of this character here, how he will behave. I can play around a little bit with his posture, and I can even just on that stage already like play around with the colors. So maybe he's like the blue one, the blue guy. Hey, what's up, Henan and Konejo? How are you guys doing? And I also invite you guys to do it yourselves on if you have like a ZBrush open right now, just try to do something. You don't need to copy what I'm doing. You can try to go and do like something that's in your mind or something that you saw that you think it's nice, you know. So like this first step is probably the most difficult one, that is taking like is like the blank page when you're going to draw, right? Like the first strokes are probably the worst ones, like what you're going to do. Oh, this is looking like nothing or whatever. So just releasing yourself from this pressure to figure something out, you know. Let me put a base here for this guy. Right. It looks like something I could do. That's good. That's good. Yeah, like you guys can do it. Just go for it. You know, uh, like try to have fun. You know, like we don't need to compare like with other artists or other people. You know, like especially on the like the sketch. The sketch should be something for you to experiment, to have fun, and try out stuff. You know. And like if you're just starting in ZBrush, and sometimes people like most of the times people are always seeing like final pieces and like stuff that took a long time to be like to develop, you know, and they think like none of that started like those beautiful polished pieces, you know. A bunch of those pieces they start like as an idea or as a very rough sketch. It could be something as simple as that, you know, that someone start off and then later they decided to, you know, to move up and expand in a way or another. So yeah, that's definitely something that you guys can do it. What's up, Blood Rapture? Deryck, I'm curious, what makes you prefer this clay method versus appending or inserting shapes for the limbs, body, etc.? The problem that I have with this workflow is the limbs get too close. It's hard to control. Yeah, it is. It is hard to control. Like you don't need to use this workflow. You can, like, there is a bunch of different ways for you to get to like similar results using different paths. Uh, this is just the way that I feel comfortable doing it. Like when you guys come here or any other like video or live, when you guys are watching any other artist per se, you guys don't need to exactly copy what those artists are doing. Like especially if they are doing this for a long time, they probably feel comfortable doing what they are doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do the same. You can try it, you can experiment and see if that works for you. But usually is more about, it's not exactly how the artist do the stuff, like the brush that he used, the technique that he used. I think it's more related to the way that people, like the artists, think and how they resolve the problems, how they navigate around the stuff. For example, it's very common, like you said, like, oh, it can be very hard to control because if I move the arms like this, let's say that I move the arms here, uh, and it gets too close to the body, right? And then it will merge with the body, right? Like this, and you're like, oh, damn it, now I lost the whole the whole arch of the arm here. If something like this happens while I'm sculpting, I sometimes I don't even go, like, I don't undo the action. Sometimes I just go and I try to find, and rebuild it, because oftentimes people are like, they are too worried, they are too precious about what they are doing, and well, you should be like that. You should be worried about when you're doing stuff, especially when you're doing stuff for your portfolio or when you're doing stuff for work, right? Because it needs to be like in a certain way. But when you are studying, when you're trying something out, when you're just having fun and sketching out, try to not have that weight on your shoulders. It will be a little bit easier to do whatever you're doing. And again, you don't need to use this method that I'm using right now. This is something that works for me. But if you're comfortable, like putting like pieces together, like Z spheres or whatever, that's something that I used to do. For example, I used to take like a bunch of cylinders and Z spheres and construct like the whole mannequin and start working from that. Other times I use the mannequin from ZBrush, which is one of my favorite features in ZBrush, the mannequin, to pose the character and then start like working from the mannequin. It's not exactly about the technique that you're using. It's more about how you're going to solve the problems that your model is offering to you, and how you're dealing with this. Uh, try try just not to be too much worry about it, especially on something like this that you're just like, really, you're just trying out. So again, let's say I lost the arm here and I'm building it again. you know um, I understand that it takes time to understand that and assimilate that, digest it, and fully take control of this. But the only way to do it is practicing. I used to be awful at this, like terrible. Do anything in ZBrush for me, like, I don't know, over 10 years ago, it was really, really difficult. I managed to do stuff, but it was very painful, to get it out. And took practice. I started practicing and I started trying stuff that I liked, and eventually it made me feel comfortable using the software, and now I can have fun doing it. And that's my goal with the SketchClub, is to make people try it out, sketch out stuff without worrying about the final piece of the project. That's not what I'm showing here. I'm not showing any techniques for uh, to build a portfolio, to do professional stuff. This is more for the artist itself, to like as a personal growth stuff. um, I hope that answers somewhat the question. Yeah. So again, like just like with small moves, I'm trying to kind of feel the gesture of the character. And again, don't need to do it like this. You can use like a mannequin. You can skip this process. This is something that I found enjoyable. That's why I do it like this. And other thing, not every sketch needs to be something that will look like, wow, this looks amazing. Uh, it's okay to do something that it will be just a sketch. And I have a bunch of those. A bunch of the sketches that I start, I don't finish. I just leave them be as they are. And some others, I I just go forward and I go a little bit further with the sketch, and I even do paints like over the sculpt to do my final presentations. Like if you go to my Instagram, where is mostly the place where I share my work, you're gonna see a bunch of like renders there that I just painted over the 3D, because I wanted to show a certain aspect of the model, and I do it. And again, just try not to worry too much about make every little piece of the work perfect, because I already have to do that at work. So here is a like when I'm doing this lives, when I'm doing my sketch, is a place for me to just relax a little bit. Yeah, and that's fine too. Like that's totally fine. Like right now, I'm picturing this guy like he can be like giant close to another person. So just so we can have like a reference scale here. This can be like a regular dude seeing this, like this giant guy walking. And this already changed the perspective. Okay, so now we have this little guy here, this little fellow. Like what he's going to do. Like he's too close to run. He probably just accepted his fate at this stage. And maybe this guy is like looking him, like ready to take him over, you know? Yeah. And sometimes it's just that, you know. I have a bunch of scats like this on my hard drive where I just scat out characters that they don't go further than this stage, because I'm just trying out to, you know, trying out something. Sometimes it work, sometimes it doesn't work, and that's kind of the point, you know. It's the same thing when with my sketchbook, like my physical sketchbook where I draw. There's a bunch of like starting drawings that I don't finish, you know, and I don't even like them, but they are there. They are living on my sketchbook. What a unique approach. No one can see how it's going to take the shape except you. Your work is really amazing. No new technique or tool, just sculpt with clay brush. Yeah, uh, that's pretty much it. Just sculpting with the clay brush. And again, like doesn't matter exactly the brush or anything that uh, you're using. You know, like you can try a bunch of different techniques. Uh, that's not exactly the point, you know. I thought it would be fun. He has like very skinny legs and like kind of a giant belly. And like this is just like like the bigger shapes. You know, I mean, I'm even going ahead of myself and like putting too much information at this stage. Like I could keep playing like with the bigger shapes here for honestly um, hours. You know, like if I was actually like playing with clay. Of course, we don't have we don't have that time in the live, so I usually try to be a little bit more practical about what I'm doing here, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. And even if I like, let's say that I sculpt something like let's say that like I sculpt something with like a little bit more care, right? Something like that. And let's say that if somehow I'm happy with this, whatever whatever shape is this, like oh okay, I built up the back muscles here somewhat. Like if I'm not happy with the result, I just I just take it out and try something else, you know. Like it doesn't need to be like perfect. That's not the stage for it. That's the exploration stage. I'm trying to explore and see what works, you know. And sometimes it will not work, right? That's that's the moment that you have to be like patient. Like, oh, okay, I did something here that is not exactly working as expected. And this happens a lot. Trust me. The secret is just, you know, keep your calm and enjoy it. Don't need to panic. This is just like pixels on the screen. That's all it is. So we do this now like on a software, and like sometimes people get anxious, and I understand, but it's so easy to just adjust it and try it out, try it again. Um, Maybe people are like in a hurry to make things look good, and that generates anxiety or something like that. Imagine the artists like back in the day, like where they are just like using clay, terracotta or whatever, or even when they were doing like the marble version of the sculpts. So I think we are safe. We can we have the luxury of getting wrong, and it's okay. So I'm gonna start to create like some kind of a face for for this guy, this Oni, and there's a bunch of like rules and metrics to create like a face, and we have to understand that like the basics, right? The fundamentals. But at the same time, on like this stage, if you're doing something like this, maybe not to worry, like maybe don't need to worry too much about it on the beginning. You can fix it later if you're exploring. Like if you know precisely what you're doing, like you're following like a guide or a concept or anything like that, then try to be as precise as you can. Uh, but if not, if you're like just exploring, for example, here I'm just trying to capture the intention of like his eyes, how it's going to be, right? That's all. That's all. That's all I want. And I can just adjust the shape as I go. But I'm gonna try to keep like my eyes on the bigger shape. Let's do a year for this guy. Okay, this can already be his ear. It's there. And now you have Shrek. Yeah, we can make him green, and then we're gonna have Shrek. How about that? And that's funny, like how even like the color can change the perception of what we are doing, right? And like you're right, like if I change the color here, I can completely like make it feel like it's another character, maybe because of the way I did the ears, like that I first block out. But if we like with it's very small touch, we can start making this guy feels like, I don't know, the Green Goblin or something. But you know, like you guys know what I mean, like, right? It's just like the feeling, and the color can like contribute with that. So it's it's very common for myself to like just drop colors in the sculpt as I'm going, you know, and see how the whole thing's coming out. But if we do this, it's just starting to, oh, okay. So maybe now it's you know, it's changing a little bit. It's not so Shrek-y anymore, you know. And again, just having fun. Why won't you mirror then break the symmetry? Much easier. That's it. That's what I call have accident. How about that? So now we have two Oni. like the red one and the blue one, they are like mixed together. I like that. I like the symmetry idea. So you see, like even that, like okay, but I really like the character the way that it was before. So oh, you mean like on the beginning, like start sculpting symmetrically? Who do this? Who does that? Who sculpt like with symmetry? I'm just kidding. I understand what you said. Yeah. So usually for my sketches, I don't do this. I'm just playing here as if I was like drawing or so. I don't actually care about it. Now because he has like two heads, he needs like a stronger leg. Hey, hello, Andre Male. Hey Mike, how are you doing, man? The pose is looking good now. Yeah, it's look. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. And if we don't figure it out, that's okay too. Doesn't matter. That's the good thing about the sketch. We can just try it out, you know. Um, hey, what's up, Andrea? Yeah, he can be a. He's probably a giant. if I know the work of Tomislav, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Sorry, he makes magnificent giant creatures with kind of goof context, which creates really interesting and cool contrasts. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look for this. It seems interesting. I wonder what is your playlist? Oh, okay. I think it's just like lo-fi beats. Some of one of those that doesn't have like copyright. Yeah, I think you can find it online. But I just searched for lo-fi beats, no copyrights. I think would look great, like a giant returning the sword to a warrior to drop it back there. Yeah, that would be if you see it like he's not like on a kind of aggressive pose because he's using like uh his weapon here is behind his back, you know. Although yeah, it would definitely be something interesting. Like with a giant hand holding the sword. So this is kind of like one of the good aspects of uh, like playing around with sketch like this, you know. You can you can try out stuff, you not be committed to like a specific idea, you know. So yeah, he's actually like giving back the sword that the guy dropped it on his backyard or something like, hey, here's your weapon. You drop it down. And he doesn't even know that he was actually trying to kill him, you know, like he was trying to kill, but as soon as he saw like his size, he just like ran away and he left the sword behind. And now the guy is just giving it back. So yeah, can be quite interesting. Now he's on a less like aggressive pose. If I'm going to do a live tomorrow, yeah, no, usually I do live streams once in a week here on the ZBrush channel. I might do something on my channel, on my own YouTube channel. If you want to see if that will happen, the best way to do so is follow me on Instagram, and I will give like the information there if I decide to do it. But yeah, I will probably be here on this channel next week, same time, same day, same hour. Maybe he doesn't even need this. Oh, I see it. That's awesome. So you're probably going to see someone streaming tomorrow, another artist. But yeah, there is a bunch of amazing artists streaming on this channel, and you will sure see something incredible tomorrow as well. What's up, Santiago? Greetings from Argentina. ¿Cómo estás? Amazing sketch. Thank you. It's just like playful thing here. Fala, Tarcísio. Como é que tá, meu querido? Bora lá, bora fazer uma brincadeira aí. Fala, André. Beleza? Entra lá no meu Instagram. Se quiser participar do SketchClub aí, Manda uma mensagem lá no post fixado, no primeiro post do meu Instagram. Vamos entrar nesse SketchClub, vamos fazer uns sketches aí, pô. Boa, Tarcísio, é isso aí. Pô, encoraja a galera aí a pegar e fazer o sketch aí também sem compromisso, sem se preocupar com o resultado, ou com a qualidade que tá fazendo. É mais fazer mesmo, soltar. Às vezes não vai funcionar, às vezes não vai ficar legal e, pô, tudo bem. É entender que é só um sketch, só um sketch sem compromisso e tirar isso como um exercício, saca? Não ficar tão preocupado assim, tipo, pô, não tá funcionando e tal. Faz parte. Tem um grupo. Manda uma mensagem lá nesse post fixado do Sketch Club que eu te mando um invite pra, pra você participar. É o Good for Sketchbook, Bad for Portfolio. And guys, this is like the most fun, the most fun part of the process. So enjoy it, enjoy that part. Don't be worried about like how it's going to turn out. Enjoy the process, like the journey of like figuring out uh, the sketch that you're doing. Like look how much this changed along the way, like since we actually begin sculpting here, and that's okay. I just realized that I need to save this file. All right. So I'm starting to dig the presence of this sketch. So I might start to. Hello, Krishna. Welcome. So we are 2 hours, over 2 hours and a half in. I will probably call it a day. Hello, has been catching by the title of the stream. Is the speed sculpt aspect bad for portfolio? Uh, no, this is just a joke on that. Usually this is not necessarily something that the industry is kind of looking for. Uh, that's why that's the reason of the title. Although, like in some aspects, when you do have like stuff like this on your if you show stuff like this, it can show a little bit about yourself and the way you think. This is a different kind of piece. It's different from a portfolio piece that you do following certain rules, certain constraints, because usually that's the kind of stuff that people will look for to know if you understand the technical aspects, if you understand, like if you're a character artist, if you know how to follow a concept and do a certain style or a certain, uh, to work within like a limitation, and this is usually what we call like a portfolio piece, like something that was polished and its finish was done with the presentation to be presented as a final piece. And usually this that I'm doing here, this kind of the sketch, this is good for your sketchbook, but not necessarily for your portfolio. but it's more like a uh, more like a joke of sorts, but yeah, it's not necessarily like a bad aspect by any means. Yeah, definitely. If you like my portfolio, for example, like I do have like uh, portfolio pieces there, like you know assets that were like done for presentation for the sake of uh, to show certain aspects of the production that it is needed in order for you to work on a studio or in a project. It will depend on the field that you're trying to work with. Uh, but once you had that, I think is also interesting for people to explore themselves as artists and try stuff and you know sculpt. And I think I believe the sketch is a good way to do this. Much like a sketchbook, like in 2D, a bunch of artists, a bunch of 3D artists, they don't even have like a sketchbook with stuff that they try. Most people are trying to do like final pieces all the time, and I'm not saying that's wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying that there is a like a sweet spot where you can uh, try stuff and uh, do create stuff with your sketches. And that's the idea. That's the idea of the Good for Sketchbook Club, is to experiment and try stuff out. Try to be original within yourself and try out different stuff and have fun while you were sculpting. Like remember why we are sculpting is also to have fun. And like producing like a long-term project can be very exhausting. So it's also another good reason to keep up like with the sketchbook, to try stuff without the pressure of the like the final polished piece that you're going to present. um as I said before, like I do have a bunch of sketches like this. I basically use my Instagram as a sketchbook of sorts, and it is good. I think I believe it's a good train. Keeps you sharp. So the goal here is to show people that they can have like a sketchbook in 3D as well, and try out stuff. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like a final polish stuff every time. That's the goal of this Sketch Club. This definitely didn't start like that, which is pretty much the goal uh, for a sketch like this, just to have fun. I'm still struggling with the aspects of doing something not perfect. Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely easy to be rooted yourself because there is a lot of pressure, like a lot of external factors that makes you be like that, be rushed with yourself. But that's what I'm trying to propose here, uh, is to take it easy, to enjoy the process as well. All the other aspects, they will come naturally. Of course, if you put the effort, to learn the fundamentals, to understand all the aspects of the specific area that you're going to, work on. Like for example, if you want to be a character artist, there's a bunch of stuff that you need to learn, a bunch of technical aspects, a bunch of game-related stuff for characters, So there's a bunch to understand, a bunch to learn. But I think it's also healthy to keep a sketchbook and keep trying stuff, to go easy on yourself, to understand that you're gonna try stuff, it's not come out the way that you'd like to, and that's okay. You see, that's completely fine. So try to remove a little bit of that pressure from people, uh, especially because like all the social media, all the stuff being like people posting stuff all the time, everything looks so gorgeous, and sometimes people don't realize that the people that are like showing that work, they are doing this, like they're putting a lot of effort on that, you know, and it's okay that things takes time. Like it's only natural, everyone starts somewhere, so you don't need to put pressure on yourself. uh you know things will happen in a good pace. Just be patient and be constant. You don't need to rush or to hurry. And yeah, do the sketches. Do a sketchbook for yourself. If you want to share it. Don't be afraid of it. If you want to keep just for yourself, keep just for yourself. But it's just like a good way to keep sharp. And also it's important to remember, like, to have fun with the process. Like, why did you start to do this? Like, what was the reason that made you uh, sculpt, or like, why are you here watching me right now? It's something that you enjoy. So shouldn't you enjoy do this and not just like struggle every time? So again, be kind with yourself. Don't be too rude with yourself. It's okay to do something that doesn't look good. uh, the important thing is understand why it's not looking good and try to improve. you know you don't need to compare yourself with others, like saying like, oh, other people are doing like much better, or that's not the point. Like, you have to see what is happening, and try to understand how you can get better. If you cannot do this by yourself, uh, maybe a school, a class, a mentor can help, something like that. But just take it easy. Don't be rude with yourself, people. Be easy on yourself, okay? So this is actually how this start, and we definitely went a long way on this. So luckily we do have like the history, and we can see a little bit of the like the process where I was just like playing around with the mesh. I have no like bigger plans for this model, so I'm just trying out stuff, you know. And you see, like at this point, I don't think this is looking good at all. I don't like what is happening here, but it's okay, you know. The only thing that I can do is keep going, you know, keep looking for the thing that I'm looking for the result that I want. And if that means like to like rip off the mesh and start all over again, it's okay, you know. Guys, these are just pixels on the screen, nothing more, you know. So see, like I can keep playing around more and more. I'm not following a concept or anything like that. I'm just exploring and having fun with the thing. Like at this point here, I didn't like the two face anymore, so I just removed it and started again until I found something that I like it and I enjoy it. But this whole process, it's it's interesting, you know, to discover and explore and try out. So this is what I'm trying to show, that you can have fun doing this, and eventually you end up with a like maybe a nice sketch, something that you enjoy it, and that's good as well. But if you don't, like in the end of the process, in the end of the day, you're like, oh, okay, it didn't came out the way I thought it would come out. It's okay. It's okay. It's only natural, you know. When I started doing that stuff, I didn't like anything that I did. So I started like trying to improve, you know. I'm not saying that that I love this that I have here right now. That's not the point. I am happy with that, with this as a sketch, as something fun, you know. But that's all this is. It's a sketch just to relax and you know, sculpt something, and that's what the sketch club is all about. Is to, you know, put the ideas out and sculpt something and have fun. All right. And the guy gave back the sword for the warrior here. All right, guys. I put more time into this than I was expecting, but it was a fun session. I hope you guys enjoyed the process. If you guys want to see my stuff and keep looking on what's going on the Sketch Club, follow me on the Instagram. Is Deryck Art. You will find a bunch of stuff there, and I will probably be here next week as well, doing some more sketches. Okay. So take care, be kind with yourself, do some sketches, and have fun. All right. See you guys on the next one. And if you guys want to do this theme, like the Oni theme, it's going to be like this theme for the whole week, this week, and yeah, if you want to do it Oni yourself and have fun with that. If you want to uh, tag me, use the hashtag on the social media and stuff. That's it. Take care, guys. See you on the next one. Ciao.